Coming to you from the Varsity Sports Bar and Grill on Beachmont Avenue in Anderson Township, it is another weekend edition, a special weekend edition of the One More and I'm Out of Here podcast. Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining us today. I'm Dan Carroll, and opening a cold beer, which I got a little bit on the mic. The mic right there.
Jesus,
it happens. You know, you put that cold beer in proximity to the microphone, you get a little bit on there sometimes.
I mean, you look like a kid that's just figuring out how to use his arms opening up that fucking beer every episode. It is so animated over the top.
I'm trying to get a good representation of what we're doing.
They know what you're fucking opening, Dan. Just pop the top and let's roll on this thing, man.
Take it away, Rob Herking.
Thank you, Dan. That was a great introduction to me. Appreciate it. And I am breaking a cardinal rule with the hat on backwards, despite being over the age of 30, because I want the audience to be able to see the product, baby. And I am the product. We are sorry we came a little bit late today. We couldn't get out of downtown Cincinnati. Dan was Grand Marshal of the Gay Pride Parade that started at 10 o'clock this morning and ended at noon. And we had to get the big guy up here. You know, he couldn't just fly with the monkey guys from Wizard of Oz.
I'm in solidarity with our homosexual brothers and sisters.
And the homeless brothers and sisters, man. You wore that shirt last time we podcasted 2 days ago.
I think I've worn it the last 3 or 4 podcasts. It's just
no shit.
Just happens,
I was just looking at it. We're gonna
happens to fall that way. I don't know how that happens.
We're gonna give you $1 to go to Goodwill before they close after the show today. You get another fucking golf shirt.
Need to get caught up on the laundry at home.
Holy shit! I looked at that when you came in, and I look at Keith. I'm like,
although my wife does a great job on the laundry. She's awesome.
I was like, Keith, that's the same shirt he wore the last time. Speaking of Keith, Jason Kiefer's here, the fireman. Kelly is manning the firehouse.
Ladies germs.
How the ribs today, brother?
A little overextended yesterday.
Jason C legs Kiefer. We like to call him.
A little sore, but the medication is kicking in, so we're almost tolerable. Slinging
some sausage last night at the St. Veronica Festival.
It's fairly steady all night. It was a good time, though.
I enjoyed the festival. Our boy Dan Varner of our Netherton Revival was playing. Quite a turnout. Saw a lot of cop buddies of mine I was talking to. And
Rob didn't end up in the back of a police car, so that's a plus.
The only way I do that is,
although you were fucking smoked.
Oh, I was.
You were smoked. You came over to the booth, and it looked like you were looking through me.
I probably was. I was still fucked up. That one hallway when I went to the bathroom inside the building. This is the longest fucking hallway, ladies and gentlemen. I am walking down this hallway. It's not that. It's an elementary school. It's not that long. Okay, Dan. I was walking down a hallway, and the lady told me to turn left. Well, I'm thinking it's midway of the hallway where you turn left. I thought there was a fucking mirror there, and it was the other end of the hallway though I was looking at. But I thought it was a mirror on the wall where I needed to turn left. I thought that's where the hallway ended. I could not see my reflection, and it was freaking the fuck out of me.
It was actually just your 10,000-yard stare you had all night.
I was making head movements and shit. I was like, I cannot see my own fucking reflection. Am I a vampire? Stay away from garlic tonight. Watch out for wood stakes in the heart. All kinds of crucifix.
Are you going back to the festival tonight?
No, it freaked me out, Dan.
But again, we've talked. You don't have a heart, so the wood steak, you're good.
Right, so they wouldn't know what side to go.
Right.
Yeah, I'm good with that. But the garlic thing, I do like garlic, and I'm kind of afraid to eat it now. Or holy water.
Yeah, there was a.
Stay away from the holy water.
You definitely were not the only one that was smoke drunk. There was, the people watching last night was absolutely amazing.
It was a good time. It's better than Walmart.
Claremont County at its finest.
Love it.
Chris goes.
St. Veronica never fails to deliver.
Chris goes. There's apparently a bunch of people in Claremont County that either don't have friends or mirrors because they let them walk out like that.
Well, I know Walmart sales tanked at about 6 o'clock last night because everybody just came up on the Claremont County bus thing and sat there. Let's go up that way. Yeah, Keith, you were killing the sausages. I came over to watch you a couple of times just to see how you handle those oblong meats.
I handle the 5-pound roll of meat.
God, it sounds so good. Today, a lot of things going on in Cincinnati. All positive, I believe.
How about those Reds, baby?
Reds came back from a 5-0 deficit last night. Is
that 12 in a row?
It is.
12 wins in a row. They go for number 13 this afternoon.
4-10.
Ellie De La Cruz hits for the cycle last night.
Oh, he did. I didn't even see that.
Yeah.
Hit for the cycle last night. Reds were down 5-0 in the first inning.
I just said that.
Came back. Joey Votto had 2 home runs.
Jesus.
Who else?
They're playing
I
the
think,
Braves, right?
Yeah. Fraley hit a home run. I mean, Atlanta's good. I mean, the final score was 11-10.
Well, what our buddy Tom say that he was hoping that the Reds would win it just at least one out of this series.
Yep.
And they came back like that.
They won 11-10 last night.
Atlanta's been killing it lately, the past couple of years, obviously with a World Series win, but nonetheless, that's a good team to fucking play and beat.
Yeah, especially like that.
Well, hell yeah.
That Ellie De La Cruz guy, I mean, he is lights out.
They swept the Texas Rangers when they were in town. But when the Yankees came to town, the Reds lost 3 straight. But 12 in a row. It's an unbelievable run. People are saying they've never seen anything like it before.
Yeah, we have.
And
you have?
And Cincinnati people, at the beginning of the season.
The way this team's playing baseball is unbelievable.
Did not have, and granted, I mean, it's not even the All-Star break yet, so we're not by any means saying we're going to the series, but nobody thought that the Reds would do what they're doing right now.
No. If you think of the All-Star break like this in the baseball season, take a trip in a car with your family, like a 12-hour drive. And you got to go down, you have a week of vacation, then 12-hour drive home at the end of vacation. We're driving down to vacation before the All-Star break.
Right.
Everybody's anticipating it's all rah, rah, rah.
It's actually a good analogy.
And then bad shit happens on vacation. And this is my mentality with the Reds sometimes after the All-Star break. It just goes fucking opposite.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to drive back and people are pissed off because you hit mom with a golf club or your brother's an asshole and he's crossing the fucking line in the back seat. All kinds of shit happens on the way home. That 12-hour drive home sucks dick. And then you get home early and you're, oh fuck, we're not doing anything anymore because we didn't make the playoffs. That is my biggest concern about the Reds. The All-Star break fucked us. What was that, 2 years ago?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Before we started selling shit.
Well, and the thing is with the team that we have, I mean, it's all young guys outside of a couple. So that's where, I mean, we do, and I think we've talked about it before, where we do a win bet here at the varsity where you guess how many wins. And I went very, very low. Marty went very, very low. Didn't he? Well,
Marty was 69.
Yeah, that's right.
That's a good number. No, was it 68? Because I would have made fun of him if he did 69.
But I mean, nobody expected that.
No.
Yeah, what we're seeing right now. Now, granted, I mean, it is, like you said, before the All-Star break, but
still early.
Just to see some of these kids like Fraley, TJ Friedel, De La Cruz. I mean, it makes it fun to watch.
De La Cruz is amazing.
It's just fun to say De La Cruz.
Yes,
it's a fun name to say. Say it again, Dan.
I mean, Ellie De La Cruz.
There we go.
And that triple he hit last night, there was a pitch. He was batting from the left-hand side. He's a switch hitter, 21 years old, batting from the left-hand side. Pitch is down and away. He goes down to get it, and just like he barely gets the end of the bat on the ball. It goes all the way to the wall. And as soon as he hit it, you knew he was going for 3.
Right.
And the guy is so big and so fast. I mean, he runs like nobody you've ever seen. It is just unbelievable what he can do on a baseball field.
Rob, I don't know if you heard me yesterday. There was a graphic while we were up here. I saw he covers 30.9 feet per second.
Yeah, I think you were telling me that. I wasn't watching.
30.9 feet per second.
He's killing it.
I mean, he's 6'5", so I mean, he's got a stride.
We were talking about, isn't he like Billy Hamilton, but with a bat?
Yeah.
Yeah. Billy, if anybody remembers, Billy Hamilton was our center fielder that
Who's he playing for now?
Fast as
Isn't he
shit.
playing for
fast as shit, but could not get on
Sox
base
now?
unless he got hit by a ball.
And couldn't bunt worth a shit either.
You would think somebody that fast could fucking bunt. But if you got him on base, shit, he was on third next thing you know.
So
that game last night was just unbelievable. Unbelievable.
So
it was so much fun to watch.
So referring to our title, the 2/3 are not 100%. Everybody take a drink.
Oh, fuck.
Dan was a good boy and didn't indulge. So he's the one that's going to have to hold this shit show together today.
Dan was at home washing his podcast shirt.
My wife is working tonight, and so God bless her.
All right, Keith.
I told Keith, I said I got to spend some time with Paula tonight, and I did. I'm glad I did, and we had a nice night, and we got to watch the Reds game, and it was.
Did you watch it naked?
Unbelievable.
His shirt was drying. It was hang dried.
Were you naked while you were watching the Reds game?
And I was not.
It's unfortunate.
Dude, I will tell you this. I have never been more proud of you than I was today when I saw you on that float.
He looked like Ferris Bueller on the float.
Shiny, happy people, baby. Everybody was gay down there.
I was not at the Gay Pride Parade.
It's Cincinnati Pride Day for those that don't know. And I know everybody knows that we are big proponents of Pride. And we were at Pride Night at the Roller Girls a couple months ago. Today is Pride Day in Cincinnati. It started with a parade at Sawyer Point at 10 o'clock this morning. And there's a bunch of activities going on until 6 p.m. It's going to be a shit show downtown today. We've got the Reds playing at 4:10. We got Cincinnati Pride all fucking day. And we got an FC Cincinnati game rolling in at about 7:30.
There's a soccer game tonight?
Yeah.
And the soccer team is hot too, man.
Soccer team's red hot, Dan. Red.
Have they only lost one game so far this season? One match, I guess I should say.
I think it was 1-1. Yeah, I think it was 1 loss, 1 draw. And
one loss, 1 draw. And they've won what, like 7, 8 in a row, something like that?
No, it's more than that. Is
it more than that?
I think it's 11 wins after Wednesday, I believe. But yeah, they're red hot.
That's
they're playing downtown on the west side. It's going to be an absolute fucking shit show. Avoid Cincinnati.
I think FC Cincinnati has.
If you just want a quiet night, avoid downtown Cincinnati.
I think FC Cincinnati has the best start at home for a Major League Soccer team in the history of the MSL.
I think you are correct.
They're undefeated at home this season. Is that right?
That is correct.
Yeah.
Will Craig. Pride Day to celebrate the best way. Best way you got a butt fucking dude.
Well, look, if we can't be proud of one man sticking his penis into another man's asshole, what can we be proud of?
And it reminds me.
I mean, really, it is
just hearing you.
Let's just call it what it is.
The way you said it was creepy as shit.
And I was going to tell a gay joke, but fuck it.
Isn't that what pride is? Isn't that what we're celebrating? Homosexual sex? I mean, isn't that?
No, it's all kinds of things, Dan.
One dude sucking off another dude.
No, it's
right.
women.
Isn't that are we celebrating that?
See, I prefer to look at it as two girls going down on each other, Dan.
Well, we can celebrate that too.
And in my mind, they
fantastic.
are enormously attractive and very hot.
They're not like 3'10".
No,
I mean, if that's what rocks your boat, then knock yourself out, man.
They aren't loss prevention officers at Myers. I mean, they're hot, like in the movies.
Do what you want to do, but just leave the kids out of it. That's all I say.
Fucking A. Why does it always go to kids, Dan?
Because that's where the whole.
Speaking of kids, what about the Varner Foundation for Children?
Oh, yeah.
Speaking of kids, you're such a big proponent of helping kids. Where's the Varner Foundation check? Is that cleared yet? Oh, it hasn't been written. You need ink? I can go get a big pen out front.
Next time I see Dan Varner, the money's going.
When are you going to see Dan Varner?
I was hoping to see him last night, but
but you didn't go out. Like he's dodging Dan.
6 months from now.
He's dodging Dan Varner. He's the sponsor of the show.
I am not dodging
Dan is fucking
Varner.
dodging. I was going to see. I thought I'd see him last night, but I stayed in because I didn't write a check.
I am not dodging Dan Varner.
Why don't you just write the check and give it to one of the two of us, because we see him a little bit more often than you.
I'm not giving it to one or two of you guys. That's for sure.
Why? It's an endorsed check.
Dan, if you took $1 a day and put it in an envelope by now, since you've owed that debt by now, it'd be $102.50.
I don't know. I don't even remember making that bet with you to begin with.
Oh, we can go back to roll the tape.
It's recorded.
Roll the tape. Roll the video.
It's recorded.
Oh, right. Now he's gonna welch.
Roll the video.
Oh boy,
Welcher.
I'm gonna pay it. It's gonna get paid.
I thought you didn't remember it.
It's gonna get paid, but I'm just.
You don't
saying.
remember making the bet. You don't remember to pay.
I don't remember making the bet, but I'm gonna pay it anyway.
All right. Jesus Christ.
I can't believe you don't remember making the bet.
I don't.
You know,
and as much as it's been talked about, you don't remember. Is it selective memory?
No, I don't know.
Or is it dementia?
Maybe I did. Maybe I'm slipping mentally.
I think you might be.
All right.
Who am I? What am I doing here?
I haven't gone that far yet.
We also got the College World Series starting tonight.
Yes.
Florida LSU. Go Gators. And Dan was just, I hope Paul is not listening, Dan. I'm going to tell her what you said, but we were just talking. Who was her chick in the photograph, Dan?
That's Olivia Dunn.
She was at the baseball game.
Nice photo of her at the LSU victory.
Dan has got it at
Wake Forest, making it
computer
to the
screensaver.
Dan
that's not my screensaver.
Dan didn't send it to me, so I can't let everyone else see.
So
you want me to send it to you?
It doesn't matter.
Here was the conversation before we went on air. Dan shows his picture. I was like, all right, Dan, if you were single, like you and Paula are divorced.
You know, I thought
you've got two kids.
I thought we talked about that in private.
Oh, was it private?
I thought it was a private conversation.
Oh, my bad. I don't remember getting paid for that motherfucker, so there was no privilege.
I've got you on retainer, so everything we say is privileged.
You haven't even paid for the fucking monthly fee on shit.
got you on retainer, man. It's the first thing I did.
She is fucking hot. So
Olivia Dunn is hot.
Take a look at her. Check her out.
She's
a gymnast. You know what that means?
It's one of Joe. Like they were accusing her of trying to break Joe Burrow and his girlfriend up because they were seen together down at some LSU function, and supposedly she's trying to move in on old Joey B.
Well, she doesn't need his money, that's for sure.
She's Instagram famous.
Well, here's another thing. Keith, you ready for this little story?
Ooh, I'm ready.
In other news in Anderson Township.
Or maybe I'm not.
Okay. You let me know when you're ready.
No, I'm ready. Go ahead.
Other news in Anderson Township. So Thursday, I'm sitting in court in Hamilton County at 9:45.
Oh, yeah.
And
I
get a phone call. And it's Walgreens. I'm like, what the fuck? I have nothing at Walgreens. So I ignore it. I'm doing 95 miles an hour to get to Claremont County by 10:30 because I get out of Hamilton at 10. And I roll in at Claremont at 10:31. I look at my phone at about 11:30 because I was busy with a bunch of cases. 11:30, I look at my phone. I get text, wife, kids. Your mom was in an accident. She is fine, but give her a call. So when I get done of court at 12:45, I get to my mom's house about 1 o'clock. The story was that
wait a minute. You had court at 12:45.
I had court at 10:30 that went till 12:45.
So from 12:45, you made it to your mom's house in 15 minutes.
She lives right up the street from the courthouse.
All right. Okay.
You're lucky you don't know where my mom lives. So
there's a lot of people who do, though.
Oh,
wow.
So let's go back to the picture of the girl. And here's what Dan said.
Wow.
So I get there and I'm talking to her.
Dan's feeling spry today.
She was pulling into
Someone's
Walgreens.
got to hold the podcast together. I got Mr. 40% and Mr. 30% on either side of me.
We're almost there.
That means you're 30%, dickhead.
Together, we're almost there.
Together, you're almost 100%.
And the fact that I put it in, not to cut you off, Rob, but I put it in the notes that it was a joke as you holding this podcast together. Complete and utter irony. But go ahead, Robert.
So I get to my mom's house, and she's telling me that she's obviously had time to think of this story. It was about 8:30 in the morning.
How old your mom?
76.
76.
She was getting gas at Marathon gas station, and she claims she must have stepped in some oil that was on the bottom of her shoe. As she pulled into Walgreens at 8:35, her foot slipped off the brake as it was idling into a parking spot.
Oh, man.
Well, here's the fucked up thing. There's a parking block there. There's a sidewalk there. And there's about 4 feet to the building. She fucking jumped the parking block. She jumped the sidewalk and hit the building and pushed the brick into the building. Like, pushed it, displaced it.
Video or picture evidence.
Is this the Walgreens at Clough and 8 Mile?
Yes.
Oh.
So I am fucking talking to her about this. I'm like, Jesus Christ, Mom. I don't know how. I mean, she didn't go through it, but all the employees run out. They said it sounded like a bomb went off outside. That's how loud it was. Even a pharmacist came out from the opposite side of the store and said, Jesus, it was so loud. Are you sure you're all right? She's like, yeah, I'm fine. She was embarrassed. A friend of mine who's a cop responded, helped her. Thank you, Bill. But she goes, this is going to be all over Anderson Township. I was like, fuck yeah, it is. I'm talking about it on the podcast on Saturday. She's like, Jesus. Then she tries to control the narrative.
I wonder where you get that from.
So I told her.
I think that'll buff right out, though. I mean,
there's.
Right.
My dad's got an awesome set of tools.
So I told her, I was like, Mom, people, you got to quit doing this. This is like the 14th time. See, when the pharmacy doesn't open until 9 o'clock and she wants Oxycontin and she doesn't have a script, she tries to drive through the fucking building now. Kind of like somebody stealing an ATM.
I was going to ask if your mom's
that's the attempted smash and grab that you were alluding to.
I was going to ask if your mom's a drug seeker.
She is. But the best part was when I'm getting ready to leave her house, I walk into my car. She comes out. She goes, Robbie, be careful. Don't back into that blue car on the street. I stop and I just look at her. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me?
That's your car.
You have the audacity to tell me not to back into a fucking car right there in the street? When you hit a building that's been there for 30 fucking years?
You hit a whole building.
Good God, woman. So
insurance will cover the repairs, yes.
Oh, I'm sure it will.
All right. Any damage to the inside of the store?
No, but I'm going to go over there and do tape measures and make sure the setbacks are correct and shit like that. We might have a lawsuit against Walgreens for not doing the proper setbacks and height and everything else. Or the proper marking.
Only you would turn that into a lawsuit against Walgreens.
Best defense is a good offense, baby. I've been saying that for years. I get in trouble. Hey, fucking, I'm going offensive, baby. That's the best defense. Make them on the back. Put them on their heels.
Falconerator said, since Dan's getting dementia, you're now the Bruce Willis of the podcast.
Oh, man. I like Bruce Willis. That's a shame what happened to him.
It is.
Absolute shame.
Well, you're approaching.
Yippee-yi-okay, motherfucker.
Jesus Christ.
That's what he said in
I know, Dan.
Die Hard.
I know.
It's one of the greatest lines ever in movie history.
I see dead people. That was another movie you said in The Sixth Sense.
He did say that.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't. I watched that movie. I didn't get it till the very end.
Well, I think that was kind of the
Yeah,
whole. That was kind of the
I
whole
know.
point of
I
that
felt
movie.
stupid though.
You would have gotten it at the beginning if you watched the movie in reverse.
I don't watch movies in reverse.
It would have been kind of hard to follow a little bit.
A little bit.
Little smidge. Let's do today in history, Dan. It's a great day. June 24th.
I know, but we were just there was some other comment I wanted to make while you were telling that story.
All right, Bruce Willis, take your fucking time. Russia invaded.
Here, let me help you.
Well, I'm pissed about.
Let me massage it out. Let me massage.
I'm
it
pissed
out.
about that because it was going to be a good comment, and I let you speak, and now it
Truthfully, Dan,
Escaped
anything you
my
say is not a good comment on this show.
I make a lot of good comments.
Yeah, it's so good that you forget them. There's really nothing in history but one thing today that I want to talk about. Happy 1 year anniversary.
Oh, for
all
God's
you
sake.
overreacting motherfuckers. Is anybody not
1 year anniversary for the Dobbs decision.
Yeah, I haven't heard of anybody having problems getting a fucking abortion. I mean, kids are still getting killed.
Yeah, it's a beautiful thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
fucking great. We got coat hangers still up here. There was no big run on them. So yeah, Dobbs was a decision. Watch our show last year when it came out. I believe it was in July of last year. No, June.
If you set to 1 year anniversary,
Well,
then it would be June.
I didn't know if they were using the leak date or what. But Dobbs basically said somebody finally in the Supreme Court opened up the Constitution and looked for the word abortion, and it was nowhere to be found. So that defaulted to the 10th Amendment, which left that right up to the states, because anything not specifically articulated in the Constitution for the federal government to have control of goes to the states. And there was, oh God, everybody remembers the outlandish backlash from the banning of abortion, which did not happen. But you can go to Indiana and get an abortion if you want.
Well, here's the thing.
I think I'm good.
Since the Dobbs decision, and as states continue to pass pro-life laws, there have been an estimated 24,290 fewer legal abortions.
Legal.
It's amazing to me that upsets a certain segment of the population that there are fewer abortions.
You know what kills me, Dan?
And that's
the same population probably that is outraged about the 3 kids, 3, 4, and 7 that were shot down here in New Richmond or in Claremont County. I bet you they're upset about that, but fuck it, just get a shop vac in there and suck that thing out of there.
Oh yeah, if those 3 kids would have been aborted before they were
what if
born,
the father would have been aborted? Would they have been born?
Oh my, well that might have been the best case scenario. But
let's go philosophical.
If those 3 kids had been aborted before they've been born, no one would have batted an eye on that.
Well, I'm just curious if the people that are pro-abortion are okay with what happened with shooting those kids.
But if you are in that group of people who feels threatened that there's 24,290 fewer abortions, then you need to check yourself and look at what your priorities in life are.
You know,
I think.
You know what my pissed off takeaway is the fact you can't get a fucking panel van anymore. I mean, that's where they're doing the illegal ones.
You'll find one.
1970s, baby.
You'll find one.
Good times, man. God love Dobbs. God love.
Glad you brought that up.
What?
The 1 year anniversary of the Dobbs decision.
It is amazing though. That was, obviously the hot button item last year, and then you don't hear anything.
We had
else.
Jill on the podcast talking about that.
Yeah.
We did a little breakdown on that one.
Old Jill Billy.
Shit, can I say breakdown or is that an
that
FTS
was a good
thing?
podcast.
That was a good one.
Yeah.
Is breakdown FTS? They didn't trademark it. I can say breakdown. That was our breakdown. Fuck you, FTS. Just kidding, guys. Hey. Hey, it is Gay Pride Day.
Oh boy.
So we got a big night tonight. Shit ton of sports. Cincinnati is a fucking powerhouse of sports now. It's awesome. Professional sports. We were like that dog shit pile on the sidewalk you stepped around when you talk professional sports for a long time.
Well, I never thought I would steal a phrase from my colleague at 700 WLW,
Yeah, you
Scott
did.
Sloan.
You stole a lot of people's phrases, Dan. You stole Marty Brenneman's. How we looking?
Well, I told him about it.
I told him I stole it.
He was fine with it. But Scott Sloan used the phrase "win Cincinnati," not Cincinnati, win Cincinnati.
Jesus.
So you talk about the Reds being hot. You talk about FC Cincinnati being hot.
Yes.
You talk about how great the Bengals are playing right now. Win Cincinnati, baby. Win Cincinnati.
God, that is creative as fuck.
I actually kind of
consonant.
like that. Not Cincinnati,
I think
Cincinnati. I kind of like that. That's not bad.
It's exciting, but I think you need to simmer down.
I don't like the win Cincinnati. That's just fucking stupid.
I think it's dumb.
I think it's dumb as shit. You
I
changed
don't know.
one
I kinda
consonant.
I kind of like it. It's not bad.
What about Cincinnati? Should we do that for football season for the Bengals? Cincinnati?
You mean Cincy Bins? Remember the commercial we did for Cincy?
What about
Bins?
Cincinnati? It's fucking stupid.
Thanks, Cincy Bins.
All right. Speaking of Varner, man,
Fucking
let me throw
trash-
this shit show out here.
Trash can washer.
Went to see him last night.
We should find that and play that for our friends
We'll find it.
on the One More and Out of Here podcast.
Went to see this last night. Varner Netherton Revival up at St. Veronica. The boys were back together again and making the best music of their lives. Last night's show was fucking awesome. I did not show my titties like I alluded to maybe doing, and I've done in the past.
Well, maybe it wasn't that good of a show then.
No, it was really good. I was more interested in the beer, though. I found a friend at the beer booth. Cincinnati's own Dan Varner has rejoined with longtime friends Nick, Brad, and Ryan. Now, the Varner Netherton Revival is filling clubs and arenas and festivals from the Queen City to Nashville and every place in between. Varner Netherton Revival is more than award-winning musicians and recording artists. They're just plain fun. Their vocal harmonies had crowds of 10 to 10,000 standing up and singing along, and the best part is you can book them for your event. Check out a show near you and find out more at varnernetherton.com. That's varnernetherton.com. And I tell you what, Ben Osborne smacked my ass last night. He's lucky he's fucking big, because I got a broken rib. I'd still whip his ass if I didn't have a broken rib. I would have whipped his ass twice last night. But he slapped my ass, which hurts still from fucking falling.
He's a big boy.
He is.
He would absolutely.
I would
take
pay.
you.
I would pay money to see you whoop someone's ass.
See, I'd take that bet, but I know I'd never get paid.
I'm just saying, it's not a bet.
That's fair. That is fair.
It's not a wager.
You just said you'd pay money.
I'd pay money to see it.
I'd pay money to see a fucking
The
orphan
only-
wearing
the
a pair
only-
of shoes, Dan.
The only stipulation would be that it would be an adult, not a kid, not like a 6-year-old.
What about if I go beat up a vet groomer?
I would.
Pet groomer.
I would love to see Ben whoop your ass, though. That would be fucking awesome.
Hey, Ben Osborne. I'm going to throw it out there, buddy.
Are you challenging?
Give me one more week to recover from these broken ribs, and I'm coming for you.
Which we don't even know they're broken. Just settle down, Tiger.
I will break you. I'm coming for you, Ben.
Do you have X-rays to prove the status of your rib cage?
No, Dan.
When we have Varner back on, we'll have Ben come in. So that way.
Oh, we do a little size up, a little nose to nose, like they do in UFC.
Yeah, that way our guests can see who Ben is. Ben's a big boy.
Dan Varner's a big boy.
I will break
He's a big
you.
pussy cat, though.
I mean, he's a great guy, but
He is a great guy.
he's
It has a great foundation. That Varner
pretty good physical stature.
Varner Foundation for Children's great organization.
It's missing 102.50.
Yeah,
He'll be all right.
It's common. It's kind of getting to the point where it might be theft. Could it be?
No, it's not.
It could be theft.
You're the attorney.
Well, I'd press charges.
You'd figure some kind of charge.
Yep. I am going to. You know what? A couple of fights are going to happen. Osborne first. He'll be last because I want to take on the first guy, the littler guy first. That UFC dude from Trin.
The littler guy.
Yeah, he's only 180, but he's a professional fighter.
Dude, you wouldn't last 30 seconds against a legit
Yeah, Jesus Christ.
Oh my God.
FC
Holy
fighter.
shit.
What do they call it?
You have dementia and you're having a stroke.
Bruce
No,
Willis
no.
has got a speech impediment.
Holy shit.
R.I.P. to the Yellow Submarine.
You wouldn't last a second with one of those
Oh,
guys.
I'd kick some ass, Dan.
No, you wouldn't.
Oh, let's hit that real quick. I know we hit it our last one.
What?
That fucking submarine.
That night, what was that, Thursday night, we found out that it imploded. We were up here drunk as shit. Did we podcast Thursday?
I don't remember.
Did we
I
have
don't
fucking
think we-
ice cream? I don't remember.
I don't think we have podcasted since we
Since you washed that shirt.
discovered the outcome of the missing Titan submersible.
Well, the beautiful thing is we were up here about 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, and We were playing every fucking song about submarines
It's so
and breathing. It was Take My Breath Away from Top Gun. It was Air Supply, Yellow Submarine by the Beatles. Gilligan's Island.
We were on a rocket train straight to hell.
God, it was beautiful.
I posted some pretty good memes on Instagram though.
We are going to hell.
Right, wrong, or indifferent.
Speaking of, we may have an interview with Satan coming up a couple episodes down the road. Little Q&A with the boys to Satan, the actual Satan. And you'll be able to write in some questions and see what happens.
He reached back out to us.
Yep. Well, him and I are pretty tight, so we talk a lot.
But again, like we said the other day, you pay $250,000 or whatever it was. I heard 250, 280, whatever it is. That's, I mean, people that have fuck you money.
Mm-hmm.
And you're going down in a Yugo type taxi cab.
You're going down in a country propane tank outside a trailer.
2.5 miles.
Yeah.
Under the surface. What, I mean,
that sounds
what
awesome.
what would possess you to be like, oh, this seems like a good idea?
You know what?
Especially with all the fucking complaints and the fucking inspection records that were all fucked up with that company.
That's almost the equivalent of saying, give me $100,000 and I'll let you drive a Pinto in reverse at 60 miles an hour. How's that? Pintos are the cars in the 70s that when they had rear end collisions blew up because of poor design that they failed to admit to.
It's just so stupid.
Well, and the part that really got me about the story,
It's unfortunate there's a loss of life.
Yes.
Don't get me wrong.
It's
but,
horrible.
Tragic.
but you play stupid games, you get stupid prizes. I'm sorry.
but the
Yeah.
part that got me about that story was when the information came out after we were told that they discovered pieces of the sub on the bottom of the ocean floor, was that the U.S. Navy had detected.
Was it Davy?
The United States Navy had
No,
detected.
was it Davy, though, that said he had detected?
The United States Navy had detected through its listening devices what they believed to be was the sound of that sub imploding just a short time after it lost contact, after it was reported to have lost contact with the surface. And why that information was withheld until after they announced that they discovered the remains of the submersible
That's right, Wilker.
is beyond me. I just don't understand why that story doesn't make any sense. And I'm surprised that it has gotten very little coverage, if any at all, that this information was withheld while they were continuing the search for three more days after they heard that sound.
Did that fucking thing even have a motor? Could it move, or did it just?
It was battery powered.
Did it go down and up?
It ran on a battery. And it
used a
had
goddamn
thrusters
Xbox
on this-
controller.
Did it have a propeller?
It had thrusters on.
Okay. See,
on,
my
I
understanding
believe,
was
on
it
all
just-
sides of the vehicle.
I thought my understanding was they just open up whatever is ballast or whatnot, put the water in so it'd sink, and then they exhale the
No,
water.
it
out,
doesn't. It
whatever.
doesn't have ballast like a submarine does. That's the difference between a submarine and a submersible. The submersible uses the weight that it has in it.
I'm about ready to
to-
show you the difference, Dan. I'm going to submerge your fucking head in my
It's
lap.
a free fall.
It's the same fucking thing.
No, it is not. The submersible and a sub are not the same
They've
thing.
got to take some water in to get that thing tipping down, so the propeller gets into fucking water. What is it? What do you think it does? Just dive down?
The weight that it has in it, it free falls down to the Titanic, and then through the use of its thrusters,
But I assume with that
that's
descent,
how it drives around.
I'm assuming with that
The
descent.
descent is a free fall.
All right, can I finish my fucking question?
Go
I
ahead.
assume the descent, though, to 12,500 feet would be a controlled descent, or else they're going to have blood embolism, CO, what is it, CO2, CO1, whatever.
CO1?
You get what I'm fucking saying. Carbon monoxide,
Carbon
dioxide.
dioxide.
Yeah, whatever goes through the blood when you go down too fast or come up too fast. I'm assuming it's a controlled descent and a controlled ascent. Why did they not have a fucking cable on this thing tethering it and let the boat just do a fucking circle above the goddamn Titanic?
Well, not to steal what Eric said on last call. We track fucking sharks, and it was a very valid point where he said on their failure to stop one, you can track a bunch of different sharks and follow them. I don't understand where they you lose contact, like the beacon. That should be a fail safe at the very least.
Fucking wives use that shit from Apple all the time to catch husbands. Bastards. And they can't use it on a goddamn sub for $250K?
We know a couple guys we had to take that shit off their phone.
Yes, we did.
But my point is this.
How does she know I'm here all the time? Let's see your location services, bud.
So sensors operated by the Navy detected a likely implosion of the Titan submersible hours before the U.S. Coast Guard publicly shared that the vessel had gone missing. So 4 or 5 days elapse after that before this information comes out.
Falconator,
why wasn't this information shared publicly?
Oh,
is my question.
It's just like everything else, though, Dan. They know, they just don't put it out.
But I'm saying they knew, and the conspiracy theorist in me looks at this, and I went on the radio the other night and I said, I'm thinking of two things right now. Two old sayings. One is that nothing happens by accident. The other,
don't even say after midnight nothing good happens. Dan.
I didn't say that.
Punch you in the face.
The other is
that's Rob's prime.
Never let a crisis go to waste.
I'm a doctor of love,
which is a phrase that was coined by the Barack Obama acolyte and the former mayor of Chicago, Rahm Emanuel.
I thought an acolyte wasn't that religious?
It's a phrase.
Well, I didn't know what an acolyte meant.
Well, he's a devotee of Barack Hussein Obama. He was Barack Obama's
are we going to get to the
chief of staff,
Deborah, since we're throwing out some fucking weird ass words?
I'm saying they had this information and did not release it until after we knew that the time elapsed for the air had expired. But it's just complete bullshit that this was not made public, that the U.S. Navy had this information.
Do you think they were?
So the Navy knew about it, the Biden administration about it. There's stories out there saying they told the rescuers. The rescuers knew about it, but yet they concealed that information until after they announced that they had found the debris field for the sub 1,600 feet away from the Titanic. Not the sub, but the submersible.
Yeah, get it
and
right.
It's just complete bullshit.
Do you think it was because they were trying to protect the family's privacy?
Well, it's the same week that all this information was coming out about. You had the Durham testimony on Capitol Hill. You had the whistleblowers who came out talking about Hunter Biden and everything else. And so they used that. This was the lead story on the news, morning, noon, and night for 3-4 days in a row. And all this stuff about the Bidens is coming out, and they're chiseling, and they're the Biden crime family. And that all gets secondary treatment because of this story. And again, you think of that phrase, never let a good crisis go to waste. This was a major crisis. They used it to their
crisis
advantage.
To 5 fucking families.
Yeah, and it's sick.
It's sick. It didn't bother my
these
family.
Liberals and these Democrats who are in charge and running the show.
You're more passionate about this than groomers. These fucking dog groomers and shit down here. They're fucking grooming dogs all day. They're opening shops, and you're worried about 5 fucking rich people dying in a goddamn submersible. You're getting hot.
I'm just saying.
Ooh,
the funniest.
Connect the goddamn dots.
We got to take a break, ladies and gentlemen, and calm down the big guy.
We need to get his heart rate back down to a norm.
Don't worry. Give it 5 minutes. He'll forget about it.
What I do find amusing is that the stepson of that Hamish Harding or whatever his name was, the billionaire from UK,
and his wife,
was at a Blink 182 concert.
Oh yeah,
and that's how he copes, quote unquote. Him and Cardi B got into a fucking Twitter battle. She said he's a piece of shit essentially because he went to a concert while they were looking for his stepdad.
Yeah,
and in my head, I'm like, "Well, it's his stepdad. Maybe he didn't fucking like him."
Yeah, no shit. Well, here's the thing too. Everybody copes differently. I mean, if my wife died, I might be coping with a 22-year-old.
Who are you to judge that guy?
Cope with a 22-year-old in a park, man, butt ass naked, tails up, with a Bud Light.
Cincy 513. I was wondering how Dan would spin this submarine thing back to Biden and the Democrats.
Yes. Oh, fuck.
Nicely played.
I'm just waiting for the groomer shit. I've thrown it out twice now.
513, connect those dots, man. Just connect it.
I've thrown groomers out twice because every fucking show, Dan will spin it to a fucking grooming situation.
He says Hunter's laptop was on board the sub, man. It's a little late.
It is.
The FBI had that laptop back in 2018. So
I love it. I love it. You are now, I mean, you're known.
I do have.
You are known.
Okay.
Well, how about
I was actually kind of curious.
you got that? You got that soundbite ready to go.
I mean, we could be talking about the fucking Cincinnati Reds. I'm surprised we didn't spin to the politics on that one. Everybody pray for the mercenaries in Russia, by the way. They're going up I-75 from down south. They're just rolling up. They're like a fucking family vacation going to take over Moscow. Good job, Putin.
Good job, Putin.
Yeah, take your shirt off, ride down and meet him with a horse.
You want to talk about the mercenaries?
No. I was just trying to get us to politics so you can talk about groomers or something.
Oh, we actually do kind of have a funny video of Biden.
But there was a big abortion rights event at the White House, and Jill Biden, I guess, leaded things off. And then Joe comes up, and he's got to be the funny man. He always starts with, "Hi, I'm Jill Biden's husband." I mean, how many times have we heard that? Let me push in your stool.
We know who that is.
Pardon me,
fucking
sir,
every goddamn day.
You want to play it?
Gary Jeff likes to say that. So, I want everyone to just take a moment here.
Nice.
Listen to this soundbite, and you tell me what this means. You tell me. Hit it.
I don't even know if I'm wearing a shirt today.
I'm working on it.
I'm so fucking hungover.
This is the commander and a group of women.
Jill said you women should take off your high heels. The rest of you should lie down. My Lord, talk about commitment standing all this time.
So, you women, Jill said, here's the exact quote.
Reminds me of a song.
Jill said, you women should take off your high heels. The rest of you should lie down. How in the hell does the president of the United States get away with saying something like that? And no one gives a shit.
I had to listen twice just because it sounded like his mouth full of marbles.
Yeah, it does sound Marvel-esque. It's pretty fucking bad. I don't get it, but I like the fact that he's saying it. He's channeling in his inner Clinton.
It kind of is.
How disrespectful is that, though?
I might go get a cigar today and find a random woman in a blue dress and see what happens.
Hey, you gals over there, you take your high heels off, and you over there, you just go ahead and lay down. Yeah, that's all good. Oh, yeah, I like this kind of thing. Lay across my big breast, baby. That's exactly what he was saying.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, take those high heels off. There's another one. Take your high heels off. Right?
Whose bed have your boots been under? Shania, baby, she's coming in.
Yeah, take those high heels off, and you lay down over there.
Why stop there? Actually, I had not heard that until you played it. And when he said, "Yeah, take off your high heels," and you other ladies, I'm like, "Oh fuck, he's going to say something about taking tops off or whatnot." I would have given him more props for saying dropping the tops.
The rest of you should lie down.
Lay down. Lay. I
mean, this is it doesn't get any creepier than that. And then we never played the video with Eva Longoria, did we? When she was at the White House, another pro-abortion event. Or that was some gay pride event. But he gives her a hug, and then he's like trying to grab her, cop a feel, little side boob.
I did see it.
Did he smell her hair?
Well, she's a little too old for that.
Do you think he
only likes to smell the hair of?
Do you think he smelled the hair of his transportation cabinet member, the bald-headed fucker with the red lipstick?
He's bald. She's bald. Right?
Yeah, but do you think he tried to smell her hair?
Sticky Sammy, sticky
finger, fucking Sammy. Jesus, it's not stinky finger, it's sticky finger. The fucker kept stealing luggage at airports and shit. Jesus, fucking, he's wearing a red dress. Ladies, I'm going to tell you this right now. Do not wear a red dress with bright red lipstick.
Well,
it's just too much.
He steals women's clothing, and then he sends pictures of himself wearing that clothing.
That was Anthony Weiner.
Same thing.
Okay. Oh, you were talking clothing. I thought you were talking dick pics.
Well, that was.
Do you think Dick Cheney sent pictures of himself to people? No, and would that be considered a dick pic?
The original dick pic, yeah. Hi, I'm Dick Cheney.
Do you think he did a dick?
That's fucking terrible, Rob.
Did he do a dick pic?
Maybe Pierre Delecto did that.
Fucking, he almost killed his hunting partner when he was vice. That's the only vice president I think to ever have shot somebody.
Have you ever seen that movie called Vice?
Yes.
Is it good?
Yeah, it is actually a pretty good movie.
I got to see that. Is it on Netflix?
What do I look like? I fucking do their catalog. Saying. Go fucking search it, Dan.
I've been meaning to watch that movie. It's been out. Only been out for 7 or 8, 10 years now.
It's a pretty good movie.
I want to see it.
Lumber, see you, buddy.
Hey, ladies, take off your high heels. The rest of you just lay down.
I was not outraged by grabbing by the pussy. Actually, that was Trump with Billy Bush in a van. That was an awesome interview. I mean, truthfully,
it actually was a good interview.
Grabbing by the pussy.
Still wrong, but
it's very wrong. Don't get me wrong.
Don't get me wrong.
I've
Just
got a
locker room talk.
I've got a woman friend, so I can speak to this topic. You know how that rolls, right?
You have a friend?
No, I got a woman friend, so I can speak about the indignation that women must
Very
feel.
surprising to me.
That's what everybody says when they're accused of being a racist.
That
I've
you
got
have
a
a
black
friend?
friend or I've got a white friend, depending on which way it goes.
Well, that's even worse if you say that, though, isn't it?
I don't know. Maybe we need to
Did you ever try that with Roller around? I have black friends.
Roller was in the chats. I don't know if he's still on or not.
Today?
Yeah.
Isn't Roller a friend of ours? I mean, do I have to say it to Roller?
I don't know.
I consider him a friend. What do you consider him?
He's
man?
a very good friend.
If you say it, though, that means you're racist.
It's not what you say; it's how you say it. I've always been told.
Yeah, I have a black friend.
Well, you know that's
right. Well,
very
that-
offensive
apparently-
the way you said it.
I'm just saying it's racist.
No, but if you pose it as a question,
it's been that way for a long time.
I have a black friend.
It's so dumb.
It is so stupid.
No, it is dumb as shit.
How about I have a friend? How about that?
I've got a friend.
I know. I'm saying I'm surprised that he has
that seems
a
apropos.
friend.
I got a black friend in Jesus. God damn. Are we? So we got. Oh shit! July 7th. We're booked on that one. Keith Starks is going to be in the house.
Roller's still here.
Keith Starks in the house for the guest. Former UC basketball player, played overseas for a long time. Local real estate agent, friend of the show, friend of ours. He's going to do some Q&A about the old days. Now, I want to tease it a little bit because for those of you that don't know, University of Cincinnati sports programs sucked dick a lot during the 70s and 80s. When I was growing up, I went to UC in 1993, and we were on the football team sucked still, but we were on the precipice of basketball greatness.
Just to be clear, you were not on the football team.
I was not on the football
Okay,
team then.
just wanted to clear that up.
I don't even know where that came from.
And while you said we, and then you said football team, as if
alumni.
some
Dan.
people could
Cincinnatian.
misconstrue.
Oh
that
shit!
as,
Are you one of those Cincinnatians that roots for a Columbus team?
as you were
Fucking 90 miles away.
Who I am.
But nonetheless, let
as
me
you were maybe a member of the football team?
back to what I was saying before I was rudely
I want to
interrupted.
be absolutely clear about that you were not
Keith Starks,
a member of the football team.
you never won the Carroll Award. We need to get confirmation. Of
I
this
never did
fucking
win it.
award.
I never said I won the Carroll Award. They named the award after me.
We need to get a fucking confirmation on this. Is this school closed down now?
What's cool?
Yours? That you got the Carroll Award?
I think
for?
it's under a different name now than when I attended.
What is it called? The Wilcox Award?
It very well could be.
Okay.
That would be, and I wouldn't have a problem with that because Solomon Wilcox is tremendous.
Great person. So UC sucked in football, and basketball was starting to climb in the late 80s, early 90s. Keith played, I can't remember when I'm guessing 88, 89. He came to UC, maybe 89, played to 92. But Bob Huggins, who has been in the news recently, was the coach, and he will always be the coach. I think he gets a raw deal a lot of times. He has a personal life. Everybody has a personal life, and the people in the fucking glass houses that are throwing rocks all the time, Nancy Zimfer, no names mentioned, can go fucking suck a dick. She ran Bob Huggins out, but Hugs built that fucking basketball program, which built the football program.
Yep.
You ask me why, or how the fuck can that be, Rob? Let me tell you, because the basketball program generated so much fucking revenue for that college that it allowed them to expand the football facilities as well. And the AD in there at the point in time also saw the ability to take the basketball revenue generator when UC was going to the NCAA in the Final Four and shit like that. Kenyon Martin, Nick Van Exel, fucking NBAers, suck it. They used some of that money to expand Nippert, which allowed for recruiting, and it's now got us into a Power 5 conference, the Big 12, so everybody can suck a nut on that. But Keith Stark's program was the one that helped build it with Bob Huggins. Coach, you're always welcome on the show. We hope to see you. Rooting for you. And stay strong. We'll talk to Keith. It's going to be a good episode, July 7th. So that's coming up. We're also going to do a little taste testing.
What day of the week is that? July 7th.
It's the day after the 6th. The 4th is Tuesday, 5th, 6th, 7th. Friday?
Good. It's going to be good.
Saturday? I don't know.
Yeah, it's Friday. It's Friday.
Oh, that's right. You don't have your print calendar with you. There's another one. A woman, Casey. Casey's Spicy Pickles. I've been in contact with her. We're going to try to get her up in Cincinnati. We're going to do a taste test. So if you're locally available,
I need you to slow down. Take a breath.
You having a hard time following?
Jesus Christ. You're like the guy from the Micro Machines commercial.
Well, I got to squeeze it in real quick before Dan starts talking about groomers or fucking Biden family or laptops and other things. But Casey has been in communication with us. She is going to hopefully come into town with her spicy pickle juice, which is a pickleback or a mixer. And we're going to have her get a bottle of vodka, maybe some Tito's, tequila, Don Julio, of course, rum, and a whiskey bourbon or something. And we're going to do a little taste test up here, talk to her about how she got into it. It is quite good. The Reposado Don Julio with that is fucking phenomenal with an ice cube. You can sip on that all night and have a little stogie.
Well, you know who else I want to get on the show is the representatives of Augusta Distillery. Recently won the 2023 San Francisco World Spirits Competition for their Buckner's Single Barrel, aged 13 years, bourbon.
Did you buy us a bottle?
I don't even know where you can get one around here.
Are you hoping they're listening to this podcast? Is this how you're reaching out, Dan?
I've actually already made contact with them.
Okay.
But they were won the competition for world's best bourbon. World's best. And there you see a picture of it, Jason, right there. Augusta Distillery. Buckner Single Barrel, aged 13 years.
I might be out of town that episode because I don't like bourbon.
You'll be okay. You'll be fine.
But that is very cool, though. That's Augusta, not too far away from here, Augusta, Kentucky.
The bottle's pretty.
Augusta Distillery, a Kentucky bourbon company.
Huh. They make bourbon in Kentucky? I thought it was Tennessee.
Kentucky makes the best. And really, to my way of thinking.
Oh, Tampa.
Stolen.
To my way of thinking, the only bourbon comes from Kentucky. There's other places that make bourbon, and they claim that they make bourbon. But, I mean, really, the only place you can get bourbon is from Kentucky.
So when you say you've made contact
and
with them,
jelly,
did they get back?
Yes. I'm going to have a representative of their distillery on one of my radio shows coming up.
Oh, I like how that happens. It goes on a radio show first.
Well,
then
there's been
it comes
times
to the
when we've had
podcast.
guests on the podcast first, and then I've had them on the radio.
That is true, Lieutenant Colonel. I do like my rum too, Will Cray. So that's a good call. I like rum. I like, but I don't know if I could do rum with the spicy pickle. I like rum. I was having rum with pineapple the other night when I was working outside on the deck, smoking a cigar, little Fuente.
Computer work.
Oh yeah, computer work.
Okay, I was just
Not anything physical.
just making
That
sure.
was- you were.
Now I'm more of an overseer when it comes to physical work outside.
That's where my head was at. Exactly.
Yes. I was working on the computer, damn it, and I was drinking rum and pineapple with a splash of club soda. It was quite delectable with a Fuente, and had a nice night. The wind was blowing. It was very nice.
Rum and pineapple goes together quite nicely,
Yeah.
I must say.
I find this interesting, Rob. Your wife's on Facebook
So,
watching.
oh fuck, is she?
Yep.
Jesus. So I gotta be on my best behavior.
I'm assuming she's still on.
Hey guys,
she gave us a like.
Are we still going down to the orphanage to help the kids learn how to play t-ball and clean up stuff like that?
Well,
I think we're doing that tonight, aren't we?
If Dan can fit it into his schedule.
Yeah, we got 5:00 mass down at Ite Gym, so it's our obligatory 5:00 mass.
Was
One
that
more I'm
today?
out of here, dude. Yeah, Dan, we're doing that.
I've got to go to St. Veronica's.
Hey, we were teasing guests. I have to reach out again, but I did make contact with comedian and former mayor of Hillsboro, Ohio, Drew Hastings.
Oh yeah, that'd be a good one. I remember him on Bob and Tom.
Yeah. So I got to reach back out to him. He told me to call or text, so I'll probably do that tomorrow.
You know, Trent brings up a good point in the comments.
Drew Hastings was the mayor of Hillsboro, Ohio.
Yeah.
Yep. Trent brings up a good
Who's
point.
the other guy I'm thinking of that
Sounds like racism.
died not too long ago? Was a comedian.
Fuck, dude.
And
I
he
don't
was
know.
the mayor of some town. I know he.
I have no idea.
I'll have to think of that guy's name.
Well, there's some fucking actors and shit that have PhDs or honorary degrees, Dan. I mean, they don't know shit. Bruce Willis could beat them in an SAT contest. And they're getting fucking freebie degrees. So you could be a mayor. It could be a title, a benevolent title just bestowed upon you by some city that thanks you for.
But
fucking
you got to
doing
bring
Nah, but
you
the
got to
guy-
bring a little more detail.
The guy was actually the mayor.
You got to bring a little more
I
detail than
know.
that.
He was a comedian. He did some KFC commercials. He was
I don't know.
on Saturday Night Live.
You form your thoughts, and
I
then
know. What's the guy's name?
you form your thoughts, and
Did
but Drew Hastings would be a good
Oh,
one.
yeah.
Because he got kind of a raw deal as the mayor. They tried to run him out, and actually I think did run him out, but
Kind of like Afro Man moving into Adams County. He's trying to get run.
That's
out
the
by
other
Adams
one.
County PD, baby.
That's your other task.
Well,
man.
I had him on my radio show, and I told him I wanted to be on the podcast, and after he did my radio show, he totally ghosted me, and I haven't heard not a single word from him.
Just keep blowing him up.
Is that racist to say ghosted you?
I don't think so.
All right. Well, Trent brings up a racist point.
It's a phrase.
Why has he never been on your fucking radio show?
Who?
Roller. He's like, why haven't I ever gotten invited in to your radio show, Dan? I mean, kind of seems like you're exclusive.
What does he want to talk about?
Probably about your not inviting him. I have fucking no idea. What do you think? I just am sitting here channeling my inner Roller, and I know what he's going to talk about.
Roller.
I've tried for a long time to get your former boss on my radio show, and he wouldn't do it either.
Well, he's in the middle of a fucking lawsuit.
Well, I mean, I know, but I'm saying before that, when he was the chief.
Oh, well.
And he wouldn't do it. Multiple times. When there was a time.
Who are we talking about?
When the city of Cincinnati, Mike Washington.
I thought you were talking to Kiefer. Like
no, when
his former
there
boss.
was the city of Cincinnati was under a fire emergency.
Oh shit! Was that when the wildfires were hitting us?
No. There was nothing like that, but it was all because of staffing issues.
Oh,
and Mike Washington declared a state of emergency.
Now they just have average staffing issues.
And because he said he refused to do what's the term they use in the fire department when you're low on staff and you gotta move guys around
brownout.
Yeah, the brownout.
Disappointment.
He refused to do that, and because his number one concern was safety, and he wasn't going to go with short staffing and have short crews and have guys moving around from one firehouse to another. And I said, you should come on the radio with me and talk about this. It was a serious issue. There was a brand new city council that went in there, and they simply for months refused to deal with it. And they eventually got the issue resolved, but no, I tried to have Mike Washington on multiple times. And then of course, after he got shit canned, I tried to get him on, but he's lawyered up now. And
he's lawyered.
I think he's going to wind up winning a big fat settlement from the city of Cincinnati.
Yeah, he will.
Huge settlement.
Huge. Now, when you're talking staffing issues, I mean,
maybe he'll come on with me after that's over.
I heard a lot of those guys have average staffs. So it's probably not a small staff issue. It was an average staffing issue.
There really is something wrong with you. You know that?
Roller might be able to attest to this.
Yes. It's a double entendre type of thing, Dan.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I'm saying there's something wrong with you.
I thought it was kind of funny with an inside joke from a previous episode with somebody watching. My bad, Dan. My bad.
Dan, would you like to talk about our friend Randy Corbett?
Corbett Graphics, they designed the banner that's right over our head. Again, I forgot to bring in the latest banner that Corbett Graphics put together for us. It says the One More Out of Here podcast. But for all your signage needs, Corbett Graphics really is the place to go. He's helped us out, and we really appreciate his help. And his work is so good. He is in such demand. I can't tell you how busy the guy is right now. But if you go to Paycor Stadium, especially in the suites, if you ever get in one of the suites there, the executive suites where the really nice place to watch the game from, you'll see his work in there. If you go to the FC Stadium, TQL Stadium, you'll see his work in there. If you go to University of Cincinnati, you'll see his work all over the place there. So for all your signage needs, and if you need a corporate logo, he can help you out with that too. So everything from original artwork to design to installation, Corbett Graphics is the one place to go. Check them out, CorbettGraphics.com. You can check out Corbett Graphics on Twitter and Facebook and all the rest of it. Corbett Graphics, we thank him for his help here on the One More and I'm Out of Here podcast. And again, that's Corbett Graphics, enhancing your success.
I just want to throw one thing out real quick. I'm trying to wrap my head around this Wagner Group fucking advancement on Moscow. I think somebody, Wilker or TJ, sent something that they stopped outside the city, or they're not advancing anymore. But nonetheless, the warning is now that the Wagner Group could have access to nukes if they overtake Moscow.
Who are they?
They're a mercenary group that was formed in 2012, I believe, and it's by a close friend of Putin, who apparently those two got in a pissing match.
Okay.
And he got pissed off when they were in Ukraine. They were the ones that started the Ukraine war, and also Crimea. They excised part of Crimea. What was that, 13, 14? But they're warning us now that if they get Moscow, they could have access to nukes. I don't know what's fucking worse. I mean, Putin is a douchebag that's threatening nukes on Ukraine, which is going to end up in a world war. Now, you give this guy, Putin's like, oh, he might have nukes and do bad things with them. Putin's a fucking tool on a horse with a shirt off. Sorry, I'm bringing it up again, Falconer. I don't know who's worse. Why don't we just fucking nuke the whole place? You know?
Well, I saw the headline and I didn't read up on it, full disclosure, but so I wasn't aware of this group. You brought it up, right before we went on. I don't. That whole thing over there, to me, it just confuses the shit out of me. We're sending a shit ton of money over there that we should be keeping in house and taking care of our own people, but that's a whole nother topic. But then when you said this Wagner group, I mean, it reminds me of like fucking Jonestown, like that type of shit.
Yeah, it's all fucking stupid. It's kind of like California and New England. Kind of want both of those parts of our United States to just flop off into the fucking ocean. You kind of wish you could take an eraser and smudge out Russia, fucking Ukraine, and pretty much a lot of that place over the whole fucking country. Fuck it, all that continent. Just get rid of it. Bunch of shitheads. I'll keep one or two countries, but Austria is cool. Germany now is falling in line because they're pacified, but we'll get another Hitler in there someday.
But look at what a problem this is for Putin.
Maybe England.
Because he's having so many difficulties in Ukraine, and then you got this guy, Yevgeny Prigozhin, and he's.
You don't even know if that's right, but I love the fact.
Prigozhin.
I love the fact you said it with confidence. That means it's correct. Well, and damn well neither one of us can contest that pronunciation.
Definitely not.
But this guy, apparently they were allies back in the day. He's done the bidding of Putin before.
They did a London Bridge on the same girl in high school.
And but now he's moving against Putin. And I don't know all the ins and outs of this, but it's going to be interesting to see how this plays out. And this is, this is what look at this guy. I mean, it looks like he's about 80 years old, doesn't he?
He looks like he's going to be your roommate in a nursing home.
Yeah. He's like one of those guys, those actor like De Niro. What was that movie De Niro did when he was like fucking 90? What is he, 120 now? 90? And they did the CAD for the fight scene and shit. And it was so fake looking that he's beating some dude's ass. It was a mob movie. I mean, Val Kilmer and Maverick.
But why would this guy who's a hardcore Russian, it says he's the owner of the Wagner Group military company. Why would he use such a Western sounding name? Why wouldn't it be more of a Russian sounding name?
Where does he get Wagner?
I have no idea. I have no idea what the history of that is.
His middle name Wagner?
I think he took the ski off. It was Wagner Ski.
Oh, it was a skier?
He took the ski off.
Now that's funny.
I have no fucking clue. Like literally, I thought it was a bunch of hillbillies in the fucking mountains.
Yeah, I thought it was one of those black.
No, this is a hardcore outfit.
I thought it was like a bunch of Black Rock guys, or whatever the fuck our mercenaries are. They're
Blackwater.
I mean, this story right here says the group rose to prominence during the Russian invasion of Ukraine, deploying around 50,000 personnel.
Mm-hmm.
So if this guy can send 50,000 people as a private interest to be mercenaries and go fight a war, that to me sounds pretty serious.
You know what it is? It's 50,000 when he was tight with Putin, because it's coming from the Russian people that is paying the Wagner group to send a 50K. It's just like a fucking big paycheck. And those guys are better trained than the Russian regular military, because the Russian regular military was getting their dicks kicked.
He sent 50,000 personnel to the front over 15 months of conflict, including 10,000 contractors, 40,000 convicts.
Yep.
Hey, you know what? Work some time off your sentence.
Yeah,
good for you.
You're in Russian prison. Guess what? You're working for this guy now.
I would rather go to war than be in a fucking Russian prison.
No wonder No wonder the Russians wanted to keep that WNBA player.
Russian President
Nicely
Vladimir
played. I
Putin
like it.
increasingly relied on Wagner for results in Ukraine as the Russian military's own efforts produced minimal results, and the conflict dragged on far beyond the initial projected timeline. So yeah, he was working for Putin, but now they're at odds with each other.
Stay tuned.
I'm gonna do this. This is our one more, and I'm out of here.
One more, and I'm out of here, baby.
It's a final countdown. No, stay tuned. We got a lot of fun things coming up. Should be a good time. Get to the YouTube page, subscribe, like, or dislike. I don't give a fuck. Share it around with friends. Keith Starks, July 7th.
Download.
Yep. I'll get this up today because I have a feeling on Saturday night it may not. If I don't do it right now, it'll be up soon.
If we didn't get to talk about our first transgender cabinet official in New Jersey.
I'm starting to think you're looking into surgery somewhere, Dan. It's like constant with you.
Because we had a good follow-up story.
8112 Beachmont Avenue. If you want to send any brochures.
Did you see the follow-up headline I sent you on
transgender
you didn't
surgery
look that up?
For Dan. We need some estimates as well. July 7th, we got Keith Starks. That has been locked and loaded. We're going to have a little taste test with some alcohol. So
when is our next? Come
get your alcoholic on. We're on tomorrow, I believe, at 2 o'clock.
Yep.
Got one scheduled for tomorrow.
And I am working on a guest for that one.
2 o'clock Eastern.
I'll let you know soon. We'll put it up on the Facebook and Instagram.
And the Instas.
But good times coming.
Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching today. It's been great.
We got to get Dan out of here so he can go home and wash his shirt for tomorrow.
Got to sling some sausage.
You know, we know he wears the same shirt every time. But the question we have is, do you manscape?